Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe football show. And it almost was like Just Joe midweek fix. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to start like giving out fines like they do at football clubs. And I've now just got a phone call at the same time from my daughter as well, so I'll have to decline that, however harsh that is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start putting out fines like they do at football clubs. This is too much. Lewis has pulled the sickie about half an hour ago. He's probably watching. He needs to sort his head out. JT will be asleep or looking for the perfect vest. And Max has rushed back to join us. Before we talk about everything concerning Leeds United, as we do on a Wednesday on the midweek fix, how's things, Max? How was Queen? Good?
Class, yeah. Dead good, mate. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Good. Had a few days away and then back to it again.
Yeah, back to the daily grind, yeah?
Yeah. Back to the transfer news.
I know. While you were watching Queen, like the genuine Queen, Adam Lambert, I was in Benidorm watching the Queen tribute act.
Yeah.
So, they were still epic, though. Big shout out Chess. They're called Chess. But they were class. I love a bit of Queen. But, mate, like, there's been loads going on, obviously. Transfers, positive and negative. I'm getting a phone call again here. I have to send her a text to say I'm on the video. But where's your general mood at now? Are you happy currently? We're going to speak about certain players and breaking news stories as we're live, just on Kalvin Phillips. But how are you feeling at the minute?
Well, I was very happy until then.
Yeah,
I've just recorded a video before this, and I said in it how happy I was that we've got looks like 3 signings through the door with Marc Roca to be announced tomorrow or Friday. Yeah. And we've not even halfway through the transfer window. Like, we've done really, really well. And to be honest, I'd like 2 more. I'd like a striker and a left back.
Yeah.
And I think then I would be happy if we didn't do anything else then. I think that so far, Aronson, Christensen and Roca, I think, very good signings. I'll be happy with that. Shrewd investments, not too much money spent.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I think. Yeah, I think the business we've done is decent. I think what we're doing is starting to build a Premier League squad, which we didn't really have before. Yeah. You used to get hammered for saying, "Oh, these players are a championship players and just playing really well," and you know what, a lot of them are or were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the Bielsa effect, wasn't it?
It was.
It was me, everyone. It was me who brought him up first. It was me. But it is 4 years ago today that he was hired.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really nice, really nice. I've seen someone tweet out a good guy on Twitter. I think his name's Ash LUFC maybe. And he went. He tweeted out a picture of like another daily reminder that these 4 are amazing, and it was like Marsh, Otto Kinnear, and Rads, and I was like, not today. I seen it, and I was like, not today. It's Bielsa's day. Look at this guy, right? I'm dying. Wait till you see this. What's going on?
Jesus.
We can't hear you, JT. We can't hear you.
The mic. Wait, the mic.
There
we go. Vamos, my brother. What's good?
What is going on?
He's good. What do you mean, what's going on, huh?
Have you just got on?
I broke my other ones yesterday, so I had to order some new ones on Amazon Prime. Luckily, they got here in time.
What are they? Are they goggles?
They are swag, is what they are. Thank you very much.
Goggles.
They are swag.
I'm wearing drip, is what I'm wearing. I actually bought the armbands, but I couldn't inflate them.
I can't say no, man.
Hey, I don't mind the crops, man. I ain't mad at the crops.
Love them,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie to you.
I was rocking them in Benidorm like a don.
Exactly, man. Mate, you look like a real don. I'm not gonna lie. In those photos, jeez, with the shirt, man, it was popping.
It was.
How was your holiday, by the way?
It was beautiful, mate. Thank you so much for asking. It was nice to get away. Me and my partner, adult only hotel. The kids were at home, and we just by the pool all day, and then watching like tribute acts and that on the night. You know what, Benidorm?
I didn't realize Benidorm was so nice.
Oh, it is, man. It gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
It does.
I thought it was just like an old people's home, and now I'm seeing like these trees, these palm trees, all this everything. It's like, damn.
Do you know what it is though? Me and my partner are very I don't know, I guess older beyond our years, because literally where we were going, you looked around and it was just full of old people. So there is something in that. Dan Dobb says JT's looking like he's mid-breakdown.
Oh, man. No, I'm 3/4 through. I ain't mid. I'm coming through the end of it.
Yeah, good, man. But listen, I was asking Max before you came on, like, obviously we've had some breaking news on Kalvin and stuff, and we'll have a chat about that. But currently, you know, he's still at the football club. Currently, Raphinha's still at the football club. So in terms of the business we've done, and Roca looks like he's going to be signed this week, how happy are you right now?
Ooh, well, I am pretty happy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty happy. 3 signings in a few weeks, almost a signing a week. We're actually popping off, man. We're going crazy. And it's actually making me scratch my head thinking, was Bielsa actually turning these players down? Because how have we gone from not signing anyone to going ham jabronis in the first few weeks? Pretty crazy. But
I've seen your tweet saying as well, some people need to apologise, and I was going to go, nah.
I knew that was going to rattle a few people. But... No, I just saw a picture of my man Radrizzani, and I was like, yeah, what a G. But no, I don't know, man. It doesn't mean anything if we lose Phillips. This is when I thought we were keeping Phillips when I said that. If we lose Phillips and we lose Raphinha, then all of a sudden this just transfer window is looking shaky, because if we lose those two, I want us to go in for some big names. The one thing I kind of don't like is that we're just going for these Marsh Dons, these Salzburg Dons. I want us to go for some big cojones.
A marquee signing.
Yeah, especially if we lose Raph and Kalvin. But
that's the thing. I think these are transfers that we would have made regardless of whether Raphinha or Phillips goes. I think there is also a list of, if Raphinha and Phillips goes, who is going to replace them. And I don't think it's going to be £10 million players. I think if Raphinha goes, they're going to start looking at 30, £35 million players to replace it. And the same with Phillips.
Yeah. But I'm hearing Kamara as a replacement. Like, you know, it seems like a decent player, but that's not a 30, 40, 50 million pound replacement.
Which one's that? Because there's one that's been linked from RC Lens,
the Salzburg Don.
Oh, right. There's about 3 Kamaras that have been linked to us. But the Marseille one already went on a free to someone, didn't they?
Yeah, no.
Do you not think it's Tyler Adams, the replacement?
I want Tyler Adams. I don't know why everyone's slagging off Tyler Adams. I'd have loved him. I thought Tyler Adams and Phillips would be what a beautiful midfield that would be. Yeah. But Tyler Adams and Roca doesn't have the same chime to it. I'd want Tyler Adams and I'd want a marquee top midfielder. Tyler Adams and Roca to replace Phillips, I'm not so sure. I think we need another midfielder, even if Phillips stays. I think we need a couple of backups.
I mean, I'm going to share my screen here just so you can see. For anyone that hasn't
getting up the super computer.
Yeah, man. I've got a new monitor now, guys. So I'm like, I'm but
come on, BBC.
This is what's happened right now. So obviously, breaking news: the betting has been suspended on Kalvin Phillips moving to Manchester City. So that's basically saying this is done. We're done. Yeah. So like he's going, which. I was like holding on to this small hope that he would, a glimmer of hope that he would stay for another season. But you don't suspend betting if you're not confident as a betting conglomerate, are you, to say that deal is done.
Yeah, I mean, what do the bookies really know?
I think it's also when it's a big transfer. I think. Like, I don't know, you haven't seen many like that, like the other signings that we've made, for example, because they're a bit under the radar and they're not as big of a thing, because it's a Premier League to Premier League, it's an English player and it's to the champions. I think they are like, right, well, a lot of people will actually be interested in this transfer, so we better put the betting on suspended just in case. But I am again just clutching at straws.
Or maybe Sheikh Mansour slip them a couple of brown envelopes to try and slide that out there, try and shake things up a bit. Who knows?
I don't know about that. But I vaguely remember.
Allegedly.
I vaguely remember a betting company paying out on someone being relegated, and they never got relegated, and I can't remember who it was, and it was in the recent history.
Wait, they paid out on a... Wait, what?
They paid out. Who was it after so many weeks?
What, so they froze the betting on someone getting relegated?
They paid out. I'm going to have to find out this information.
Oh, they already paid the money.
They paid out the money, yeah, but then it didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? so it's... Look, I mean,
that's
like Max has said, maybe... I don't know. Is Kalvin going? Is he going, is what I'm saying. Is he going?
I don't want... Well, for all the world, it seemed like Raphinha was the one that was going at the start of the transfer window, and everybody was like, yeah, Phillips will stay. Raphinha. Now it seems like it might be the other way around, considering Barcelona have crapped the bed and not got any money. I was trying to think of any word that wasn't a swear word.
No, disgusting, disgraceful. You know, there's kids watching here, families watching, and you're just going to drop words like that. Sickening, actually.
It's Phillips. It seems like the more likely one now, doesn't he? And rumoured of 45 to 50 million.
Because we fumbled the bag. We fumbled it worse than PK, man. Honestly, how have we... why have we not signed him down earlier? The reason we thought Phillips was staying is because he said he was staying. He said multiple times. He said it in January. He said it throughout the season. He said, give me a new contract. I want to stay this summer if we stay up. All of a sudden, we decide for some reason not to sell him. And now he could be going for 45, 50 million pounds. I'm sorry, but if someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin is worth 50, 60 million pounds, if someone like Yves Bissouma is worth 30, if someone like, who's that? Ivan Toney, 50 million pounds. And you're telling me we could lose Phillips for 45 million pounds. It's a disgrace, if you ask me. How we
He's English as well, isn't he? He's the English tax. So
exactly.
Somebody like Bissouma, I think 25. It's because he was in the last year of contract. Bissouma, I think he's worth a lot more than that. But I think if Bissouma signed for like 40, 45 million pounds, if he wasn't in the last year of his contract, you'd say, yeah, he's very good, all the midfield. That's probably the going rate. And so then you think, all right, well, is Kalvin Phillips as good as Yves Bissouma? And I think he is, if not better.
He's way better than Yves Bissouma.
Maybe that's biased.
Well, no, of course
the English tax.
Man. I'm sorry, but Declan Rice, he's a few years younger. Declan Rice, they're talking 80 to 100 million pounds. He's a few years younger, but is Declan Rice any... Huh?
Declan Rice, look, I'll take shots for it, but Declan Rice is better than Kalvin.
I don't think so. Well, Phillips one player who was better in the Euros.
They're better at different jobs, I think.
They are, but who was better in the Euros? Who won England Player of the Year?
Kalvin
Phillips. But a fan league.
I think.
Oh, come on! What you're saying?
No, I'm not discrediting it. I'm not, bro. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. I just right. For me, it's like the perfect storm. I think the fee's very good. People will disagree. A lot of fans go, Jack Grealish went for 100 million, so Raphinha should be 100 million. It doesn't work like that. It's not realistic, yeah? Calvin's getting on, like I say getting on, in terms of footballing sense, yeah? Declan Rice got, No,
Declan Rice, I'm saying Declan Rice should be 20 mil more, maybe, because he's younger. But still, 26 years old for a player like that.
For me, Declan Rice should be going for 100, 110, and I think that's what he will end up going for.
And I think Phillips should be going for 80, 90.
No, he's not worth 80, 90 million, bro.
But how is Rice worth 110 and Phillips, who's only a few years older,
is different gravy, though.
So Phillips is better than Rice, man. I love them. I think they're both world class, to be honest. But Phillips is, oh man, come on.
I think for me, I was expecting something in the region of 70 million pounds, so about 10, 15 million pounds more than what it's rumoured to be. And I think 45 to 50 million pounds is what he'd be worth if he wasn't English. And I think
I'll put it this way.
That English
City
tax
don't go in
should
for
add 15
mugs,
million
do they?
pounds.
City don't go in for mugs. Guardiola is not sat there making
agree with you, bro. But what I'm saying is, if Declan was in a similar price bracket, they would go for Declan.
I think a lot of clubs would, but I think because of the way City like to play, I think Phillips would probably be more of a target because of the Bielsa factor.
Yeah, but everybody knows how much money City have got, so you can afford to say to them, "Well, no, we're not taking anything less than 70 million." And if they want him, they'll take him. If not, you get to keep an amazing player who is also a cult hero a fan icon. And
I don't know that we can, though, because he will be going into his last year of his contract. That's the problem. If we'd have signed him down when he asked to be signed down, and we had him for longer, then the ball would have been in our court. We could have said anything.
Let's play devil's advocate, right?
Ooh,
and put yourself in Kalvin's shoes, right? And I've backed this before.
He's got big feet, though.
Yeah, and those massive clodhoppers that he wore that time.
Yeah. But they were terrible. Them boots.
Did you see that video where Rodrigo said he was a disgrace to the club for wearing them?
I didn't see that, man. Wow. Right. So for me, Kalvin, yeah, it's not Man United. You know, he's not making that move. But City have come knocking, right? City have come knocking. They have Pep Guardiola. Kalvin's persona, temperament, work rate, all them things fit for Pep like a hand does in a glove. Believe me, like he will look at Kalvin and say, "He's the perfect guy for me." He's not
seen him under Bielsa.
Problems.
That's why he likes him.
He is going to be, you know, the cherry on top of the cake for him in terms of personnel and personality that he wants at his football club. But from Kalvin's perspective, yeah. If he doesn't make this move now, and he's got to weigh these things up, the opportunity for him will be missed because they will go and find someone else to fill that Fernandinho void. It's a bit like Harry Kane last season, right? Harry Kane's moment to move from Spurs is gone. It's gone.
He's screwed. He's been absolutely shaped.
Erling Haaland's come in. What I'm saying is, you know, another year down the line, and City might look at it and go, do you know what? Kalvin's opportunity is gone. You know, they might go, let's go all out on Rice if he's not moved on. Kalvin's opportunity is gone. You know, Kalvin's going towards the back end. He has an opportunity to fight for Premier Leagues, to play in the Champions League in any immediate future. That is not happening for Leeds United, yeah? It's not happening in the next 10 years. You know, we're not fighting for a league title.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
but what I'm saying is, so I sort of see it from Kalvin's side. Any other club, I think.
I don't blame him for going. I 100%. I agree with you. If he doesn't go this year, then City aren't going to wait around and come knocking the next year. You have your chance to hop on that boat and you get on while you can. I don't blame him, and that's why I think he's gone. I think we've just screwed ourselves with how much we can get for him by not tying him down earlier.
Yeah. Also, people are saying that he's not going to get a game. He's going to be playing second fiddle, but you've got to remember that City play 30% more games than the rest of the Premier League. And so they can't constantly, like when you see City from week to week in the midweek fixtures, and they could sometimes they replace 8 players at a time and they're still unbelievable. Yeah. And he would play in the Champions League group stage games 100%. Or in the Premier League, he will play for Man City. Like he will get game time. Rodri cannot play consistently throughout the entire season, but then also he is injury prone. He is very injury prone, Kalvin Phillips. So for a club like Man City, people saying in the comments, obviously, that Man City have got a lot of money, but they're also shrewd in their signings.
Yeah, they are now,
But if they were that shrewd, would they sign a player like Kalvin Phillips who's that injury prone?
It's the fee. For them, they're very shrewd, but look at what they're picking up for the price. Whereas if you were to look at Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice, you're talking over 100 mil.
But then I feel like because it's Man City, they've got, they don't. What I was going to say is because it's Man City, they've got the facilities and they've got the scouts and they've got all the knowledge to go and pick up a holding midfielder from the French league, or because they're going to be playing backup. So a decent holding midfielder from somewhere else. But the thing is, they don't need to save money on a player, which is something that...
No, but Phillips is a generational talent. He's not going to be sat there picking Rodri's pockets. He is going... If he is fit, he will be playing above Rodri. All right, let's make no two ways about it. He is a generation. I can't believe you guys are underrating what he's done. We wouldn't be where we were if it wasn't for
this. Is why I love you.
No, do you understand? I'm not even joking though. That's the thing. All right, look into my eyes while I tell you this. He is a generational talent.
He's a generational talent in Leeds.
No, not in Leeds. In the Premier League, man. Honestly, why would Liverpool and City, two of the best clubs in Europe, come calling for him?
I'm trying to find the kid's name, right? There's a kid who's on the... there's a kid coming through at City who plays in DM as well, and I remember Big Steve mentioning it on the Big Six, and I also seen it in one of the articles. It might have been the Athletic article, who's very well thought of. I don't know if he's Polish, maybe, but I'll have to find it. He's very, very well thought of, but they just don't think he's ready yet. So they're obviously looking at him as an option for the future as well. So why go out and spend X amount on Rice? Why go out and spend X amount on Bellingham, for example, if you can have Kalvin for the next few seasons at a price that's affordable to them at around 50 million. And then when this kid's ready, he then...
I think you're doing Phillips a disservice here, a massive disservice. I don't know why. He plays over Bellingham for England. There's a reason why he plays over all these top midfielders.
When Bellingham is at Kalvin's stage of his career, when Bellingham leaves Dortmund, he'll go for about 150, 60 million.
Isn't he like 19? Different position. Yeah, he's a different position. Obviously, his ceiling, of course, he will become better than Kalvin Phillips if he reaches his ceiling. Yeah. But he's a completely different position. And Kalvin Phillips, you're doing him. I think you guys are doing him a massive disservice by saying he's basically a stopgap until they can get someone elite to replace him.
We're talking about Man City here. Even if we were talking about scum, we'd say he'd be the best holding midfielder they've had for the last 5 to 10 years. Even if we're talking about scum of all the money that they've got, and they have got talented players, we're talking about Man City here, and they win the Premier League consistently. They get to Champions League finals. They're absolute machines. Like anybody else, even Liverpool. Like Fabinho is a world-class holding midfielder, but behind him, like there's not going to be anybody else that will be better than Phillips in that role for Liverpool. But because
Phillips
we're talking about Man City.
Role. Phillips will develop. Phillips will become a better player once. So he's already amazing. He could already do a job for City. But once signing for City and he's training with Guardiola, he's training with world-class players. When you play with better players, it makes you better as a player. You pick things up off them. You're on different wavelengths. You're learning new skills, new tactics every single day. And then you've got Guardiola making you even better. He would become even better.
I guess this isn't even about that. We all agree, man. We all wax lyrical, about Kalvin. I remember doing on 90minute.com and getting shouted down for saying he should be starting in the World Cup, in the Euro. Sorry, and then like you said, he played. I think there was only John Stones that played more outfield minutes than him, and I also had a bet with a guy on there saying Harry, that he'll play for a top 6 side, and he was like, never. And now look, City are about to buy him. So, we are all aware of his talent. We know that. We see it week in, week out. So that's not even in question. And look, we'll disagree on where we believe his ceiling is and that. So, but I'll ask you the question. Although the fee could have been bigger had we have signed him down, I don't think the change of agencies helped that. But do you think it's the right time to sell if ever there was a right time, and I don't think there is, to move on your boy, but if we take sentiment out of it, is it the right time in terms of, ask yourself the question, if at the end of the window you have Tyler Adams, Marc Roca and 60 million in the bank, are you happy?
No.
With
just Tyler Adams and Marc Roca, where's the backup going to be? Well, if one of them gets injured, you got to rely on Forshaw to get fit, who's even more injury prone than Phillips.
Okay. In response to that, if
and
Kalvin
Roca's
stays,
also injury prone.
If Kalvin stays, I don't think we'll buy another additional midfielder.
I think we will. Oh, well, I think we need to. I think we need to with Phillips in there. What, then you've got 3 injury-prone midfielders.
No, I know, I hear you, but I don't think we will. I think we'll go for a striker and then we might...
No, I think we'll go for both. I think we need to go for both, at least. Yeah, if we don't, then that's a big mistake.
In an ideal world, we keep Kalvin Phillips, but because he is inevitably going to go at some point because of where the club is in its development, it's probably the right time to do it because the squad is being rebuilt anyway.
Yeah.
But then my one issue is that it's all well and good. We're all saying at the start of this window, we need a lot of new players in. Out with the old and with the new. We're not good enough. We've got championship players. But it's very rare that a club signs as many players as we look like we're going to sign, 5 or 6, which is, when you look at it, half a team. It's very rare that they all bed in very well at the start of the season. Like, I know it's a different case, but when Fulham came up that time and they pretty much bought a new starting 11 and they were awful because the players don't know how to play with each other. If Marsch can get them in early enough, the benefit of the Salzburg players is that they already know how to play under Jesse Marsch. And we've got them in early. And Marc Roca looks like he's going to have pretty much a full pre-season as well to bed in. My worry is if we start signing more players towards the end of the window, how do they bed in, given that we've got so many new signings?
And if you slowly bed them in.
Well, yeah, but if Phillips is to go as well, there is no choice but to quickly throw them straight in because we need 2 holding midfielders. Dallas's leg's gone. Forshaw's injured. Like it's like
that's why I said we can't afford to.
If Phillips goes, we need
Raphinha
another.
Phillips.
Well, we need another holding midfielder if they do go.
Oh no, yeah, we need another 2 if he goes.
Because ideally, you'd have if you're playing a double pivot, you'd have 2 like. At minimum, you'd have the 2 that are on the pitch and you'd have a holding midfielder in backup. And it'd be absolutely very unlucky to get both of your starting holding midfielders injured at the same time.
And we already had that last year.
Yeah. So it like the chances of that happening again, touch wood, are very low. But if Phillips is to go and we sign 1 more holding midfielder, who do we look to in backup? Because we're going to have the same situation as this season where we looked to in backup and it was Forshaw, who was very good and very tidy, but he's not good enough to take us to that next level.
He's about as tidy as a teenage girl's room. What are you talking about, man?
He actually, when he did come in after the first few games, he did actually help. And Roca, in some of the clips I've seen of him, reminds me of the way that Forshaw plays sometimes. He's very tidy. He's very tight with the ball at his feet. He can beat a man, and then I don't mean beat a man as in take the world on, but he can wriggle out of a challenge and play a pass backwards or sideways to retain possession. He seems a bit like that, and that's what Forshaw's basically been doing for us.
I don't mind Forshaw, by the way.
I think he's a good player. But
when Bielsa came in, he said he was the best player at the club, didn't he?
Yeah. Well,
technically,
he also said a lot of things.
He did say click.
Just none of them in English.
He did say click could play for the top Champions League side, didn't he? And then he just fell off a cliff. And never played well again. To be fair. Okay. So Kalvin's probably going to go to City. I think Leeds will bring in Tyler Adams and then maybe look to another. Another one of the big hitters. In an ideal scenario, we only sell 1. If I think about the model that Leeds United were following and what we were told we were following in terms of Leicester, they would only sell maybe 1 big hitter a season. You might look at Kante, you might look at Harry Maguire.
And when but this is the point though. When they are a lot better in the transfer market than us. We're trying to follow that model. We clearly are not following it at all. We don't have any idea because when they sold their players, they sold them for big bucks.
Oh no,
they held on to Harry Maguire 85 million. We're getting fleeced and knocked down. 1 second it's 60 million for Raphinha, then it's 50, then it's 47.
Yeah, but then you've
45 million for Phillips.
You've got to remember that was when they sold Harry Maguire, that was to Scum, and they said they didn't want to sell Maguire under any circumstances. They said, "Oh, go on, 85 million."
We said we didn't want to sell Phillips, didn't we?
Leicester were laughing all the way to the bank.
We didn't want to sell him.
I know, but we have to accept the fact that Kalvin's going. Yeah, we'll see what.
I know, but did they not have the same thing with Maguire? Maguire was pushing for a move to Man United, but they still held on and charged £85 million. But we haven't. We I don't know, man. We just.
But we digress, right? We're splitting hairs over that sort of stuff. But in terms of how they used to do it, right? It would only be 1 big loss. Would you see?
Yeah.
But all the sounds coming out from the club, regardless of what we think. Look, I think it now looks like they're both going. I don't think Raphinha starts the season at Leeds United unless we can keep him to the World Cup. But I don't. Obviously, Barcelona have their issues, but we've seen over the last week or so that Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea are all chasing him. Do you envisage a time or see a situation where he plays against us next season, folks?
I pray not. I hope not. If the only way I would actually be able to swallow it is if he went to City or Liverpool, because then you're going to one of the two best teams in Europe.
He's not going to go to Liverpool now because of Darwin Núñez, is he?
Yeah, he's not going Liverpool.
But Núñez is a striker, though.
Yeah, but I think he's the Mane replacement. I think Liverpool like to sign those players that can play anywhere across the front three. Like Jota can play anywhere across the front three. Diaz probably can as well. I think Núñez is he not that type of player who can play in multiple positions across that front line?
You would imagine so, maybe it's a Firmino replacement. I think more so. I think they tried Mane there. Obviously, Mane.
No, I think Núñez is just a reaction by.
Do you reckon to the Haaland stuff?
I think they've seen Haaland go there and they've shot.
No, but this is the mad thing, though. Listen, I don't know much about him. I'm not going to sit here and say I do. And I was listening to a couple of podcasts the other day, and someone said they think he's massively overrated and he might actually struggle. And this was a journalist. He might actually struggle to adapt to the Premier League. I mean, they were saying, they knew that Bruno Fernandes were doing it. They were just talking about people from that league. They're not quite sure on Núñez. And then when you think of the outlay, you're like, oh, it is a big one. But like you said, maybe a reactionary to just getting Haaland and that sort of thing, maybe. But
we've been linked to somebody from that league, haven't we? Gonzalo Plata.
Yeah.
Well, he played in La Liga last season, didn't he?
What do you mean?
We're not getting a winger. There's the other guy as well.
Well, they sold Raphinha. We need wingers, man.
No, we don't.
As you know, I know everything.
We are not playing with believe me.
Let me tell you something. I am a journalist, so therefore, as you said, with that guy being a journalist, 100%.
Can tell by the goggles.
We are signing Gonzalo. Mate, I am the most reputable journalist known to mankind, and we are signing Gonzalo Plata. I will tell you that for nothing.
What about this Rabbi Matondo as well?
Rabbi Matondo. Well, he's a terrific little player. Nice and tidy.
Bags of potential on FIFA.
Oh yeah, bags, absolute heaps.
But I don't see. Look.
Nah, look, the thing with Núñez, I was kind of a bit skeptical about him. But then I was talking to AGT. He said he was at the stadium with him. He said I was watching him actually in the flesh. And when you go to a game and you watch someone, it's different to watching them on TV. You can have 5-10 minutes where you just zone in on a player and watch all their little movements and everything. And he said I was watching him and I'm telling you, this guy is world class, elite, his movement, his positioning, everything like that.
See, won't we?
But I'm still 50-50 on it, to be honest.
It's a lot of money.
But actually, I did want to speak to you guys about something, about a risk, because the thing with Núñez and about how it's a reactionary signing, because sometimes these kind of signings are to bolster the caliber of the squad, not just necessarily the playing staff, but someone sees, an 80 million pound Núñez signing, it gets the fans excited, it gets other players excited. They're like, okay, the Liverpool project is churning on. Now, one player that Leeds have been linked with that I think would really excite everyone and would help bring that status back to Leeds, especially if we were going to lose a big name like Raphinha, is Dries Mertens. But I'm hearing everyone throw their toys out the pram about it, he's 35, he's not going to develop. I think it would be a perfect signing on a free. If we could get him on a free, would you not be happy with
Dries Mertens is not coming to Leeds United.
Why not? Okay, listen to this. Napoli don't want him. Yeah, Napoli have told him you're gone for free. Right. The only teams that have been linked with him, really, there's a lot of rumors coming from the Premier League. Newcastle, Everton, Leeds. Those are kind of the three big ones.
Well, Cavani went to a small club like Man United, didn't he?
What clubs in England? What are the big clubs? Are Tottenham Hotspur going to want Dries Mertens? No, they've already signed Perisic. He's an old guy. They've got Harry Kane up there. They've got Kulusevski. They're not going to want him. Arsenal don't want Dries Mertens. Man City, Liverpool don't want him. Leicester, are they going to go in for him? Probably not.
A reason why, though.
Look, because he's old, and he's old. But we saw with the Cavani thing, we didn't want to take a punt on him then. And I know he was a lot more money than what Dries Mertens would be. But he did a very good job for Man United over those couple of years he was there. And I know he was a lot more money than what Dries Mertens would be. But he did a very good job for Man United over those couple of years he was there. But he did a very good job for Man United over those couple of years he was there. And why can we not prize him away? What, say, you get to play in the Premier League? You're at the twilight of your career. You get to play in the Premier League. You'll have a big impact here. It's a big club. You know, he's going to get to play in front of a massive packed out stand every single day. There's not many other clubs in for him.
So Mertens reportedly was on 150 grand a week at Napoli. That's euros.
Yeah,
and it was like 4 million euros a year, though. No?
I don't think anybody in our squad is anywhere near that, are they?
No, he said he's going to take a pay cut, though. He was willing to take a pay cut to stay at Napoli, and he'll be willing to take a pay cut for the right club. I don't know how much was Rodrigo was probably like a highest paid one. He was near 100 grand a week, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe swap Rodrigo out for Mertens.
What I will say is, I will put my house on it now that Dries Mertens doesn't play for Leeds United ever.
Apparently, our highest paid player is
Raphinha
on 63 grand a week.
What was that, bro? Yeah, no, Rodrigo's on nearly 100, isn't he? I think.
No,
I thought Rodrigo's on peas, man.
Apparently, Rodrigo's on 57 grand a week.
Well. I think.
Obviously, but that only makes sense. You got to pay your best players the big bucks.
First on big weight as well, I think, which is insane.
He should be.
He should be garbage.
Whoa! You need to wash your mouth out, son. Okay. I can't believe
I don't know, but do you know what? I think the Raphinha to Tottenham thing
is not going to happen.
No,
they haven't won a major trophy in colour. All right, let's calm down here. All right, you think he's going to only go to Tottenham? Where are they even going to play him as well, man? They have Son and Kulusevski.
I know.
Yeah. Wasn't Kulusevski on loan?
Yeah, but I think they're going to make that permanent.
Yeah, to make it permanent.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a permanent.
Give me a
Maybe
ginger from
Sweden. Him or Richarlison in it, but I'm still convinced he rocks up at Barca. I seen them sign another player yesterday as well. I don't know how they did that, but they signed.
Yeah, but it wasn't the big bucks.
They're still getting them through.
Because they wanted Lewandowski as well. They wanted Lewandowski and Rafa.
He wants them as well. Lewandowski wants. Barcelona.
Big time. Yeah, mate, he wants to swoop in for Shakira. That's what he wants to do. You see, she's on the market now, so everyone wants to go over there.
Let's quickly get a super chat in here. There's a couple coming, so I'll go through them. So,
shout out.
Paul, 2011, £5, big shout out, legend. He said, "All right, lads, Wolves fan here. What do you think of the Adama links with Leeds? He is a player that improves your side. Is he a player that improves your side, in your opinion?" Who wants to take that?
He's going to cost us a lot of money. You know, there's a lot of baby oil we're going to have to buy if he does sign for us.
You have to buy extra tight shirts. We have to buy the baby oil.
Yeah. Extra tight shirts, mate. Get extra large shirts. You'll still fill them out, man. Guy apparently doesn't go gym, though. What are you talking about, man?
You see the Adama stuff, though, Paul, in response to that, I think it's lazy journalism. I think it's because Victor Orta signed him for Borough. I don't envisage a time where we're in for Adama. I think Adama is massively, massively overrated. He is a Dan. He's a Dan James on steroids.
What a Dan James on steroids. When he first joined Barca, he was on fire.
Yeah, and then what did he do?
He dribbled off a little bit. You know,
there you go. The guy's Dan James on steroids. We don't need that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he's unbelievable at beating a man. The power and the pace is unbelievable, but he has no end product. And I don't think he offers a material difference to our side because we've already got enough players who can't finish.
Yeah, exactly. And Max,
but he's a good creator.
No, he's not.
He's not Tyler, but he's good.
You get him to good positions and then balloon his cross and it'll go out of play. Luke Act, I think, asked. Luke
Aked.
That'll probably be better, yeah. Luke Aked says, Jack Jenkins, the next KP, he will come through. You know much about Jack Jenkins at all, Max?
Not really. He's been on the bench and stuff, hasn't he, for the first team? But he's never really seen any action. So, but because of where he is in his development, it's one of them where he's not going to see first team action anytime soon unless our new holding midfielders that we sign get injured and Forshaw's injured. Like he's not going to get a chance unless Roca gets injured, Forshaw gets injured. Like, it needs to be like a chain of injuries for him to be given a go, because he's still below Lewis Bate as well. And Lewis Bate he's in that middle ground between the under-23s and the first team. And Lewis Bate is sat in that little middle ground there where he gets called up for the first team, but doesn't always play.
And I think as well, Max, like that link between under-23s and first team will be less and less under Jesse. It's not going to be like it was under
I think there'll be more loans.
Yeah.
People like Jack Jenkins, who might be getting to an age of 19, 20, where they want to start getting a bit of football. They're probably going to start getting loaned out to League One championship teams. And you might be right, in a few years, he might come good. And I would like personally to see, that was one of the things that Bielsa did that I didn't necessarily agree with, because some of those players, I almost think in your under-23s, you want to send out some of your best players on loan to see if they're good enough for first team football at any level. Like Cody Drama, obviously that was a bad example because he wanted out and all that. But if he hadn't, he was one of our best defenders in the under-23s, and he's gone to a championship team and he's gone and gone, right, I'm going to prove myself. I can play first team adult football. And he did it. And so I think if you, like, Joe, you made your video, didn't you, about Charlie Cresswell? I think Charlie Cresswell should go out on loan, much like Ben White did, to a championship side, show he's absolutely class, and then come back in and say, right, where's my place? If not, I'm off.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But we need a backup left back. Is that not Cresswell's role?
Well, what's happening with Davis?
Yeah, I heard some stuff on the grapevine yesterday. I did a video on that. Someone contacted me who said,
"Oh, got contacts, yeah."
Well, no, this person, no. It's not even that. It was someone who's close to a sporting director at a lower league club.
Oh, at Victor?
No, at a lower league club. But I know that Leaf has been offered to a number of clubs for around 1.5 million plus add-ons. Bournemouth have said no. I believe Ipswich have said no, and I believe Oxford have said no. There was question marks over his attitude, apparently, and influence over younger players. Then when I did the video, someone actually made the comment about, I forget, they're probably watching, but someone mentioned, like, it sort of makes sense, because I think Kalvin did an interview a while back, and he was asked about, like, who in the squad could really do bits or something, and he said, like, Leaf could do that, but he needs to apply himself properly.
Maybe he needs to take a leaf out of Dallas.
So
I like it.
Because I would have liked Leaf to stick around, but just because, and again, you know, it's clear that maybe...
stick around? Oh, man, you guys are full of it today, man.
I didn't mean to do that, but we need another left-back, and I'm sick of this. Leeds are after a right-back. You can also play left-back.
Yeah, we're allergic to left-backs.
Yeah.
Why are we going for another right back, by the way, if we have Cody Drama and Rasmus?
We're talking about him being able to play left back as well.
We were linked to Dagba. I was like, why?
I know, that's what I'm saying, man. So why, if we already have Razmataz Christensen and we need a backup left back? I mean, we're not going to go and break the big balls for a top left back. Because
the thing is, people like Strauch and Yelda have actually looked good when they played at left back, but when you're playing Premier League football, you don't need a centre-back to go and look decent at left-back. You need an actual backup left-back.
Yeah.
Like, you need somebody, like, just get Alioski back. just get an actual serviceable left-back. I mean, we were linked to people like Tagliafico a few seasons ago. Somebody like that would be really good for not a massive amount of money. Yeah. Like, I don't know why we can't look to do those sorts of deals.
No. Paul came back, the Wolves fan. He said, I totally agree with you, Joe. As a Wolves fan, it is true. Cool. However, he does have hardly any end product. However, he'll be very cheap, as only 1 year left on his deal. But I think he'll be on big wages as well, right? Adama, I think.
I don't know. Well, he was offered 100. The funny thing with Adama, he was offered 120 grand a week to go to Tottenham, and then he turned it down to play on 15 grand a week so he could play for Barcelona, which was quite admirable. Now, that's Barcelona, though. If Leeds come knocking, he's not going to be...
No, he's not
going to be taking that jump.
Definitely not. And then we had another one come in from Sergeant Pickles, who says, cheers from the US guys.
Whoa.
My American bias wants to see Tati and Adams get a shot in the Prem because the potential is there. JT, those shades are whack.
These shades are elite. All right,
these shades are not shades. They're swimming goggles.
Yeah,
mate, if
shades,
you want to be absolutely dripping in goals, this is how you do it, my man. Whack a pair of these on. Oh man, you're laughing.
Got it, Ali. He's got it. Brian C says, if our transfers stop after Roca and either Raf or Phillips go, where would you place us finishing next season?
I don't think we can do it. We can't stop after that.
No, we need a striker, don't we? We need a striker, definitely.
Because we just, like, we I don't know. That's a very worrying comment. It's made me think about what would happen if that happened, because it wouldn't be very high up, I tell you that. No. It would not be very high up. We've not changed anything fundamental.
No, we haven't, yeah.
That's the thing. If we keep Raf and Phillips, I think we could be in for a very good season. But without them...
We're not though, right? We're not.
I think, I know. Without them, I think it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to knock a couple of... Might only just scratch into 7th, 6th, yeah.
We might just only scratch into 16th.
You can get 16-1 on Leeds getting top 6. I think that's
That's an absolute steal.
Yeah, but I think
but we should be about 50-1 to get top 6, surely.
Should be about 1.5 to 1.
They learned from the Leicester thing, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So they never offer massive odds anymore.
Yeah.
Gamble responsibly.
Yes. By the way, shout out to you legends with the super chats, man.
Yeah,
absolute G's.
Thank you so much. Over 500 people watching, which is huge as well. So if you can, please do smash a like on
smash it. Try and break your mouse.
Yes, and you will know that JT and Max's and Lewis's channels are all in the description. No, they're not in the description. They're in the title. So all you need,
in the title. Yeah.
And they've both been smashing out the content. They've both been bringing all the transfer news and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you...
JT's been smashing out the content. I've been
every day. My friend texts me. My friend who said he can't stand the thing. He went, "Your man JT smashing out the content." I went, "I know, man. I've seen it, man. I've seen it. I'm happy. I'm happy for you, man. It's good to see."
My sleep schedule isn't, but
no, I can imagine. I know it's a tough gig at times.
No, it's fun.
It's fine. Luke,
but you guys need to smash it. By the way, if I don't see 200 likes in the next, let me see. Let me give this till 9:21. There's going to be serious problems, all right? And you don't mess with a man in these kind of shades, all right? No, I will get down and wet.
They still have police peel off protective coating.
Yeah, I know. I was wearing them yesterday. I broke my other ones yesterday, so I had to order some on Amazon Prime, and they came just before I got here. So that's I think it adds to the quality. You know, I think you get like going from getting 9 numbers a night to 11 numbers a night with these things on. So
That's good. Luke Akehead says last year's expenditure was 50 million-ish, including Harrison. If KP goes, we've currently spent basically nothing. Adams is good, like Kante influence. I do believe, Luke Akehead, in response to that, mate, that Tyler Adams has been sounded out by Leeds United, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, because we believe Kalvin will leave, and therefore they will use some of that money to bring him in.
We went for him before Kalvin left. Before Kalvin.
Yeah, no, but what you've got to remember though, the club will have been well aware about interest in Kalvin and well aware of interest in Raphinha months before us, right? So they always have to sound out targets. That's what his job is, right? So they'll be like, you know what, Tyler Adams fits that bill. If Kalvin does go, we will buy him, and I guess it's like Raf. What for me? If Raf goes and he goes for a decent fee, that money, if not all of it, needs to go on a striker. I don't see the need for a winger just because Jesse doesn't play with width, and therefore we don't need a natural out-and-out winger. We have enough of them in the squad. We're packed with them, to be fair. So for me, that money then needs to be recuperated and put into a striker.
I agree, because Tyler Adams is rumoured to be going to cost about 30 to 35 million, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is actually quite a lot for Leeds. That would be our record signing.
Yeah.
So I think if we did bring him in with the Kalvin money, then that would be that replacement there. And I think you'd maybe look to get another holding midfielder in for like £5 to £10 million to sit on the bench, basically.
What about Lewis O'Brien, innit? Someone like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, squad.
I'd be happy with that. As a backup, though, JT, a championship, decent holding midfielder from the championship as a backup on the bench is probably a very good option.
If you bring Adams and O'Brien in.
O'Brien, yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean Adams.
Yeah,
I meant
both of them
as that bench player.
So, but then I think the thing with what you said about reinvesting the Raphinha money in a striker, I totally agree with you. But my only thing is, how often do you see a team that obviously finished in the lower half of the table, a striker that would go for that sort of money, 60 to 70 million pounds, a striker that would go for that sort of money, those signings never really happen at the bottom end of the league, do they? True. So even teams like Villa, who are investing a lot of money, haven't spent that much on a striker. I think maybe you'd be likely to spend like 30 million.
They bought Danny Ings.
35 million is
40 million for Danny Ings, no? I think this bottom of the table thing is a load of codswallop, though.
But what I'm saying is
anything from 8th to 20th is the same for me.
Yes,
it changes so much.
A player who is worth that much, a striker who is worth £60 million is going to be a good striker. And they're going to think, I've got better options than that because they have no loyalty to Leeds. Obviously, we know it's a fantastic club. The fans are amazing, all that sort of stuff. But they don't really look at that because he might be a Spanish striker. He might be a Brazilian striker. He doesn't look at that because that's not where he's grown up. It's not his culture. He would say, oh, okay, well, West Ham's a better option because they've been playing in the Europa League. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, we're not in for a £60 million, though. Because that would be an elite striker.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
We're just saying, though, about reinvesting that Raphinha money in a striker for me. Like, that's what I would go to do. But I think, who's out there that we could get to play up top? Because I'd like to see proven. I would like us to spend big on a proven
We've been looking to that Castellanos, but he's not.
I know everyone's raving
about for the Prem.
Exactly. I mean, it's the MLS. I'm sorry to be disrespectful to the Americans watching. I am, but come on, we have to be realistic. There are a lot of suitors.
Perfect example is Miguel Almiron.
There you go.
When he went to Newcastle, he was like one of the hot prospects in the MLS. He was unbelievable. He was bagging for fun. He's gone to Newcastle and he's done some all right things. He's quick. He's got something about him, but he's like, he can't finish his dinner. He's another player who can get past a man, but has no end product. And so I think if you're signing a striker from the MLS, it's very hit and miss.
What about Alphonso Davies, though? Yeah. Alphonso Davies came from the MLS, and he's
but bro, there's every so often. Come on now.
Yeah.
No, but the caliber of players coming out of the MLS is getting better and better and better and better. Like it is hit or miss. You hit the nail on the head there, though, with hit and miss. You could end up with a guy who basically shelves the bed, or a guy who.
Well, that's why Joe's saying he wants proven, because with some of the other positions, like Marc Roca, he is kind of proven in the Spanish league and he's decent, but it's another auto signing in which you're getting a player who hasn't really been playing, is not in favour, and because of that, is going for a cheap price.
Yeah.
And you're basically banking on the fact that he might come good and rediscover his own old form, and that never happened with Junior Firpo this season. So when you're looking at another attacking player, you kind of need somebody who's been proven to be a goal scorer. I mean, when you looked at teams like when Newcastle signed Callum Wilson, they knew that they were signing in a consistent 10-goal a season striker. And same with Chris Wood. Obviously, like, these players aren't the type of players that we're talking about wanting, but the template is there to sign a striker who can score at least 10 goals for you.
We already have that with Bamford, though.
Yes, but that's why we need another one.
We do need an additional striker.
Yeah, because sometimes Marsh might want to play two up top, and other times Marsh might want to play one up top. So if you have the option of bringing on a decent 10-goal season striker to play up top with Bamford, I think it offers
I'd rather
you
take
more.
the risk and go for someone with a higher ceiling than go for like a Danny Ings.
Who like though? Nah, we need proven, bro.
But there isn't any good proven strikers. What are you gonna say, Che Adams? Like, who else is there that we could get
Well,
for
the link's
30,
completely
40 million? What,
the
Gabriel
link's
Jesus? He's not going to
I
come
would
to
love
us.
that. I would take it.
Oh, no, yeah, don't get me wrong. I would put your hand up with Gabriel Jesus.
Did the links with Brereton Diaz completely die?
See, I'm not. I think, look, people will hammer me. Diaz, overhyped, man. I don't
hammer
think
you.
he's
No,
only
they
about
won't. No, they
23
won't.
still.
Because I said I
don't
wanted to
think he'll do it in
sign
the
Diaz,
Prem.
and I got about 50 comments like, you flipping ex, basically calling me a shit journalist, which is incorrect, might I add, for wanting Brenton Diaz. Brereton.
Yeah. There's Seneleb in the comments mentioning the Canadian bloke, Jonathan David. He was someone we were linked with previously. But again, Jonathan David's one of them players that's going to go higher than us. He'll go Champions League, a top club playing in the Champions League. We were linked. That ship sailed. There's a number of players like that have gone. I don't know who we get to complement Bamford, but I don't want us to go. I just want proven in that position, man. You need like people's mentioned Tony. I would snap your hands off for Ivan Tony.
Yeah, but he's going to cost £50 million.
Yes, exactly.
And then you
Tammy
see
Abraham.
videos of him saying, "Oh, Leeds United."
Yeah. Tammy Abraham. Oh,
yeah, but he said no one. He slagged off his own employers. So
no, I know. Listen, Tammy Abraham though, like.
Tammy, we ain't gonna.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that's proven, man. Tammy gets
Someone just
goals.
said Dembele from Lyon, but I think those type of players, if they're playing for somebody like Lyon, they're getting Champions League football every year, or Europa League football every year. Are they going to turn? I mean,
yeah, but so are the Portuguese dons.
Yeah, and actually, when you think about it, the Salzburg players were all getting Champions League football every year, and they were never ever going to win it. They just got to play in the group stage of the Champions League. And so they thought, actually, domestically over a season, I'd rather play in a better league. So,
Broha from Chelsea on loan. Jonathan Brook, good friend of mine. Big shout out. Nice to see you, brother.
I think we need a more permanent thing.
I would take Broha, but I think he's...
No, they want to sell Broha, I think. I think Chelsea want to sell him.
Right, okay. What about Iheanacho's been mentioned? There's another.
Yeah, but again, man, what's these 5, 6, 7, 8 goals?
But if he gets a proper run
we're linked to another Salzburg player as well, aren't we? Junior Adamu. We're just going to buy that whole squad out.
They are our feeder club now, isn't it? Red Bull.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Also,
Red Bull are our feeder club, but yet we're still in a lawsuit against them.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still fighting.
Yeah. I know. It's mad, that one, isn't it? Yes, man. Don't forget this, Sporting. Do not forget this. I was going to mention this, not you guys, but I got absolutely torched for saying it ages ago, and people laughed at me. And now look, you
all laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now, are you?
Legend. I said this. Yeah, Eddie and Ketty are obviously that one. He's staying.
But he's going to be staying, unfortunately. Yeah. I think he'd be a great player, but
I think he'd have worked under Marsh as well, because he's very much a foxy in the box. He knows where to be, where the ball drops, and the way we play, it'll just drop. And I feel like
foxy bingo.
Yeah, you miss that anticipation that a striker gives you. Like Bamford knew where to be, and I think Eddie he's even better at that than Bamford. I
think we also are kind of forgetting Gelhardt as well in this situation.
Yeah,
we do have him.
Yeah, we do. And but do you want to be starting Gelhardt and Bamford?
He's in the running for Golden Boy 2022.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's insane, isn't it?
The likes of Camavinga at Real Madrid, and
Tchouameni and all that. Guys, you know what I mean? And then you've got young Joe Gelhardt.
You got little Joffrey. Yeah, his little rosy cheeks.
It is brilliant.
EDL Joffrey.
Yeah, but for me, a left back and a striker is what we need now. And then we can react if Phillips goes and get another midfielder, etc.
A left back, a striker, a central midfielder.
Oh, so you think we need a left back then?
Yeah, for a backup. That's what I said. We're not going to go in for a big boy. We want a backup because Firpo, he had injury problems himself.
Realistically, though, do you think we'll sign a left back?
I don't think we will because we're looking.
It just
for
seems
right
weird that we've not been linked with any left backs when we've obviously had issues there.
There was
season.
Kai Wagner, but that was it. That seems to have fallen off a cliff.
I don't think those. I think we replace Kalvin, we get a striker, and maybe a backup goalkeeper. I think that might be us. Thoughts?
Ben Foster, cycling.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Yeah.
Everyone
Get
keeps
good
mentioning
content
Zinchenko, right? Everyone.
Mate, to be honest, if he signs, you'll probably be able to
Zinchenko.
get a collab with him. Probably get him on the show.
Who?
Ben Foster.
Oh, yeah, I tell that.
Yeah, he's big in the YouTube scene, man.
I know. Everyone keeps mentioning Zinchenko, right? Listen, I would love nothing more than Zinchenko, but Zinchenko is not. Is he leaving City?
He's gone.
I think he's
massively... I spoke to Giuseppe last night, and he was he basically said,
Zinchenko, he offers too much, man.
I think he's massively underrated. I think when you look at that City team, you always think of Zinchenko as a bit of like the dud, like he's just an all right player.
Do you know they paid 1.5 million for him?
When you actually put him into any other squad, he's actually a really good player.
Yeah, but that's how he's playing at City, though. Will he play that well at another team? I mean, look at how Fabian Delph was performing. But Fabian Delph was performing well at left back.
Well, Fabian Delph's gone on a free, hasn't he? He's available.
I mean, City have fumbled the bag by letting him play anyway. Should have kept Angelino. But...
Would you take Delph as a backup holding midfielder?
No.
He's broke, man.
No.
Even
he's done.
I suppose
he's chalked.
Just thinking as a backup, if we were to sign another, say if we signed Tyler Adams and it was either him or Lewis O'Brien or someone like that, would you take a Delph on the bench or not?
No.
Rather.
To be honest, I think we're bringing Tyler Adams to replace Kalvin, and then we get a striker, and that might be us done.
No way, man. We're going big. We're going ham. We ain't getting 2 more players and chalking it off. We're going for wingers, man.
Right, so tell me what we're... realistic, though, what we do.
Okay, realistic, we make 5 more signings.
Never.
Maybe
I'll take
including
that bet
Roca.
now.
I was going to say that it's...
We will.
Go on, then, tell
how
me where
often do you actually see...
CM, striker, a winger. If we lose Raphinha, another winger, a fullback.
You want 2 wingers and we're not playing with width? What?
If we are, man. This thing is so rubbish, man. We still need wingers. We still need wingers.
How can you not
Mate, Raphinha did a job. Everyone's like, oh, he didn't have any width. He was still playing amazing in that position. He's still playing wide. It's just maybe he's not as wide, but that inside forward.
Brentford?
No, Raphinha, not against Brentford, the whole time under Marsh. Like, the whole time. Yeah. I don't know why everyone was crying, except for when he played fullback.
Man was playing right wing back.
Yeah, okay, before that, the inside forward role, you still need a natural winger to play that inside forward role.
Nah, listen, you want 2 more wingers, a centre midfielder.
If we sell Raphinha, if we keep Raphinha, we need 1.
So you want 2 more wingers?
Okay, well, look, if one of them's going to be Plata, we need a proven player, and Plata maybe to play on the bench and get himself through.
We won't buy wingers.
I'd be happy with that Rabbi Matondo because he's about 4 million euros, 5 million euros. So you like at that price, another player to come on off the bench and try and make a difference of 5 million euros, I'd take him. But I don't want to see us spend 20 million pounds on a winger. I want that money invested in the places where we need it.
I think the width from us next season will come from our fullbacks. Yeah,
we've got Poveda coming back as well.
He's gone, man.
He's a beast now.
He's in the bin.
You wait.
3 centre backs.
I love him, but no.
3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, double pivot, 10 behind 2 strikers. That's what I think we'll play with.
3 at the back. We're gonna need some centre backs then, if that's the case.
Is it going to be a 4? Is it going to be a 4?
Stacked there, man.
It'll be a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-2.
in the league, man.
No, we're stacked at centre back. We're good there. We're all right.
No, we're not. We're stacked with
JT, I think it was the man marking.
But
it was the man marking that did that.
What did you say about Prem Proven? That wasn't the man marking, man.
What do you mean Prem Proven? We've got
Lorente won the least duels in the league. He won the least defensive duels in the league.
Lorente's not going to be winning the most duels when he's chasing an attacking midfielder back into his own half and leaving a massive gap behind him.
Cooper's old.
Yeah, well, I'm saying we need look. These guys still have a role to play, but we need. What were you talking about? Premier League proven. The one position I want Premier League proven is a centre half. That's what I want.
So I'd like Robin Koch and Cooper next season to be our starting centre backs, and then Strauch throughout
I
the
think
season might
Strike should be. I don't know
slowly
why Strike doesn't
replace
play.
Cooper. I'd like to see Cox starting over Llorente. I think he's so much more potential. I think he's actually a better player than Llorente. Llorente is just further on his development.
Some girth to
him. Yeah, listen.
No, I don't know about. I'm.
We've got 4 centre backs.
Llorente's either mustard, or he's
rubbish.
Yeah.
But then what I said is, like, how can you not agree that the reason that we were so bad at the back is because Bielsa had a centre back like Llorente chasing Fernandez back into his own half, and then when you look behind him, there's just a massive hole where a centre back is supposed to be.
It's like
they just play through the gaps.
Amazing when we stopped playing that way.
Do you remember the Matip goal, like Liverpool?
My God, that was awful.
Klopp said we knew what we could. They knew, man. You drag one player out of position, 1-2, Matip back of the net.
Their centre back did a 1-2 and chipped our goalkeeper.
Most of our goals came from individual mistakes. A lot of them that we conceded was from someone. How many times did we see someone do something stupid, man? Whether it be Llorente giving away a needless free kick, whether it be Cox sliding himself out of position for no reason, whether it be Aiden doing some stupid back pass or what. I think we need if we're playing 3 at the back, we need a centre half for sure.
JT, man, no.
But we
need
so if we play 3 at the back, you've got Llorente, Strauch, and Cooper, or Koch, Strauch, and Cooper, etc. And then you've also got Charlie Cresswell as well. Like we've got 5.
Charlie Cresswell.
We've got 5
in there.
Premier League standard centre backs.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're stacked. We're stacked in that is the one. The one position for me as a fan that I look at our centre backs and say, do you know what? We're good for the next 5-10 years.
I just don't
5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but JT, they've never had time to bed in as a partnership. When you look at all the best defences, they've always had a partnership that lasts years, like Carvalho and Terry, or Vidic and Ferdinand.
Yeah, but we don't have a Carvalho and a Terry level of player.
Yeah, but what
in 5 years' time? In a couple of years, we're going to need some serious.
Yeah, but in 5 years' time, can you not see the ceiling that Strauch and Koch have?
Yeah, exactly.
Them two being out, like Llorente and Cooper are slowly phased out, and then Koch and Strauch are then they can be the centre backs for 5 years, and they'll only be like 28, 29, the pair of them.
Cresswell, clip it up now. Cresswell will be the one. Cresswell will be the one. He will play at centre-back for England. He is the Don, yeah? Then alongside him, you have Pascal, you have Hjelde. I believe at centre-back, over the next 5 to 10 years, and I know it's a big time, but, 5 seasons, or I don't know, maybe I am over-egging it, but what I'm saying is, if I look around the rest of the pitch, we're not as stacked as we are at centre-back. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the one position where we're fine. So, all right then. So, in terms of your priorities for you two, then, who do you think? Like, what position do you think? Like, we'll go. Say if we were to make 3 more signings, what's the priority for me? It's striker, left back, and another midfielder.
Holding midfielder, creative midfielder, winger.
I think you've got that in Aronson, though, bro.
Yeah, but I thought he was meant to play as a winger. We need I don't know. We need another creative midfielder.
It depends. It depends on the formation, doesn't it? I think he might slot in behind it.
I guess, yeah. But the thing is where's Dan James and Harrison going to... I don't know. I think we just need a hell of a lot more quality. I think the quality that we lose if Raphinha goes is not replaced by Brendan Aronson alone. Then we need someone else. We need another top.
I agree with that. So so if yeah, because obviously the whole landscape changes if Raphinha and Phillips goes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. At present, so say that they stay. Like at present, what do you think? Like, because
if they stay, then we need another midfielder.
Yeah,
we need Tyler Adams, and we need a fullback, and maybe a centre half, and then another midfielder. Whether it would be a little more attacking. No, I think
for me,
A striker. I didn't say striker, did I?
Yeah, we definitely need another striker because if Bamford got injured, we're up.
Striker.
Yeah,
it's too much to put on. Yeah, it's too much to put on Gelhardt's shoulders to say, right, be our number 9 for the season.
Yeah, we
Wait, so what's happening with Rodders?
Rodrigo?
Is he going to play in that attacking midfield role, or is he going to play?
There you go. There,
I think because
I'd sell him if we could. Like, I can't lie.
Well, we've looked better when we've played 4-2-3-1, haven't we? Mm. So to me, if he's going to play, he's going to play in that central role with Aronson on one side and Harrison on the other, with Raphinha leaving.
Is that enough?
What did you think about Harrison and the links to Newcastle? We can't lose
Apparently
Harrison.
They said it's too much. They said £30 million is too much because they only have a budget of 80 to 100 million pounds this summer. I say only, but only 80, 100.
Do you know what that annoys me? People underrate Jack Harrison. Yeah. When we went to the Euros, he had 8 goals and 8 assists. It was the most goal contributions out of any English midfielder that season where we went to the final of the Euros. He had 16 goal contributions in the season. It's the most out of any other English midfielder. And people still didn't even talk about him for an England call-up. And I think...
Because he's a little bit hot and cold.
But I love him. I'd like to keep him.
I love him as well.
I think he's a very valuable player for us. And I think he scores... enough goals to warrant his place in the team and gets enough assists each season. Like he was really poor the first half of the season. The second half of the season, he's actually scored 6 or 7 goals, something like that.
He was our second hat-trick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
he's got 10 goals. Yeah, he's behind. Raphinha's on 11. He's on 10, and then Rodrigo 6. But this is kind of again about how we've kind of messed up our whole transfer negotiation things. I think he's a top player, and I think £30 million we should be charging that much for him. But how are we going to charge £30 million for Harrison and only £45 million for Raphinha?
Yeah. But it comes down to position, that stuff, though. What you say? So you say Raphinha again? Sorry, what was that? I thought you were talking about
£30 million. Well, £30 million for Harrison, and then charge 45 for Raphinha.
That's BS, man. We ain't selling him for 45.
No, is that the one? Well, it's either they're saying 45.
Keeps saying Fabrizio.
No, he keeps changing. 1 second it's 50, and it's £45 million. Barcelona apparently we were willing to sell for 50 million euros or 50 million pounds. This is why I think Raphinha should be 70 million, 67, 70 million pounds. But because he only has 2 years left,
we can't. For me, he has to go for 60 million.
60 million minimum for me.
Yeah, for me. I mean, it might be stacked with add-ons potentially. But
I think it should be 60 mil plus add-ons.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Of course it should. I think Leeds United need to show that they ain't about to be mugged off. Do you know what I mean? They do need to show that.
What I don't get is in January when West Ham bid 50 million each for Raphinha and Phillips, everybody laughed, including journalists. People on TalkSport saying that they've been known to do it before, make stupid bids just to make it look like they're trying to buy players. So everybody was like 50 million each for them. That's nowhere near enough. And now it's come to the summer, which is a time where you can get better deals because you've got longer to make your deals.
True.
So January players are always more expensive. You've now come into summer and everybody's saying, they could go for around 45 to 50 million each. And everybody's sort of accepting that that's the number when
it's okay.
Everybody laughed at it in January and said that West Ham are taking the mick offering that much. So how have we gone from that to that? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, to be fair, because you're right, because we did all laugh, didn't we, back in January? So it is a little
including journalists, and everyone was saying, there's nowhere near enough.
Yeah. No,
so there's only one journalist you should listen to.
That's you.
Yeah.
JT goggles.
Get the JT goggles on, man.
Joggles.
Somebody's just mentioned something, Joe, with the super chat there, Pete Benton, that I was gonna mention anyway. But I forgot to do so. Thanks, Pete. There's been complaints, haven't there, against City and PSG from La Liga clubs, saying that they're breaking financial fair play.
Yeah. Well, guess what? They've been. Oh wow! What they've been breaking financial. Oh, who would have thought, man? City. They've been breaking it for the past decades, man. They went to court against. They went to court against UEFA and they absolutely handed them a new asshole, man. They sent about 100 lawyers over there and dished them up. You think that UEFA are going to do anything about them? UEFA, yeah, these dons that are meant to be, protecting football with FFP. Who's on the board of directors over there? The owner of PSG's on the board of directors, and you think they're going to get stung by it? The whole thing is FFP is designed to keep the big clubs at the top and stop the little man from coming up. It's the most corrupt thing I've ever seen in my life. They're not going to be affected.
Also, what City do is they sell things like the naming rights to the stadium, the naming rights to all the sports
sell it
complexes.
To themselves.
Yes, because it's Etihad Airways will pay X amount of money, which is ridiculously more than anybody's ever paid for a sponsor before, as a way to funnel money into the club legitimately, according to...
That's why they banned it. They banned it in January because Newcastle were trying to do the same thing when they got the new owners, and basically all the other clubs came in. They were like, well, now you can't do it. Now we have a problem with you. But they still let all the other people that are sponsored by themselves get away with it. That is, I mean,
we also just want to say that this is all allegedly. This is what they do.
Yeah, of course. Well, no, it's not alleged that they're sponsoring themselves, and that was banned. But the corruption aspect of it is, of course, alleged. Alleged.
Yeah. So any Man City lawyers, allegedly,
just do your own research. Just do your own research. That's all I'm gonna say. Come to your own conclusions. But let's just say Man City are very shrewd in the way that they do their business, according to certain people. Whether they're right or wrong, we don't know.
You're muted, Joe.
Yeah, you're muted. I was going to say, man, is my headset? Yeah, what's going on here?
Sorry, boys.
Sheikh Mansour's came in and he's
muted me, put a gagging order on me. So in a week's time, we'll be back here, same place, same time, right? Well, maybe not same time. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll be back here. Hopefully with Lewis in tow as well. Lewis as well, just heads up. He said that he thinks Kalvin's going, just to keep us updated. And he says we'll keep Raf. But in a week's time, what do you envisage has happened? JT, I'll come to you first.
We'll have signed Roca. We'll have signed a striker and a centre. No, we'll have signed Roca and that's it. We'll have signed Roca, and then once we get Roca done, we'll probably move forward on Castellanos, and we might pay a little bit more, and then they'll be like, we're going to have a medical in a few days, and maybe we've progressed on that. But we'll have signed Roca, and then we'll be in further talks with other clubs, basically.
For the striker. Max, thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. I think either tomorrow or it seems like it might be Friday that Roca will be announced. So I think that one gets announced, and I think we get linked with a whole host of new players because obviously once he fills that holding midfielder role, until Phillips goes, we'll be linked with strikers and we'll be linked with left backs and those positions that we need to fill, I think. But once he comes in, hopefully our midfield will be rocker solid.
Hey, JT,
I made that joke. I made that joke in my video, and I said I won't be surprised if you unsubscribed.
Go on, give it us again.
I just said that hopefully when he signs from Bayern Munich, our midfield will be rocker solid.
I like that. So I'm surprised neither of you said we might be a player light. Do you not envisage a bid comes in?
Yeah, I didn't actually think about that, to be fair. It could be that Phillips is gone by that time.
No, but we'll have. Well, I mean, I can only hope that if we know someone's going to be going, then we will have quickly swooped in to get a replacement once he's gone. So Tyler Adams will be coming in.
It seems to me like if Kalvin stays, which is looking very unlikely, we won't sign Tyler Adams. But I think they must have lined up a bid already or something. Just as soon as Phillips goes, they're going to bid for Adams and get the ball rolling on that one.
See, I disagree. I think we go for Adams with Phillips.
I can't see it. I think if they were going to do that, they would have done that before Roca.
Yeah.
No, I think we go for both of them, and then maybe it gives us more options. Because that's what they were saying. They were saying we were going for midfielders, planning to keep him. That's what I'd like to see, but I think Phillips will be going. And
then Roca might sit on the bench.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, he's going to need to get himself.
The only way Tyler Adams comes in is if Kalvin goes, or someone of that ilk comes in.
Especially because Roca would be fuming, wouldn't he, thinking that he's going to come in and start every week, and then you go, right, we're signing another £35 million holding midfielder, so Roca's like, right, well, I'm on the bench then, aren't I?
Yeah, because let's not forget, like, by all accounts, he turned down Villarreal, he turned down
multiple
three Spanish clubs, I think.
Yeah, 2 or 3, it was reported, wasn't it, saying that they...
So he's been given assurances
because he wants Premier League.
Oh, yeah, they said he's going to be a key player.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't then bring in another for 30, 35 if Kalvin's still here. I think we might see a bid come in the next week or so, and then we'll see.
I don't think the first bid for Phillips will be accepted, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah.
There'll be a bit of back and forth, I hope. I hope what happens is this reported fee is what Man City are planning to bid the first time, and Leeds will say, no, actually, we want 10 million more. Can we have 60 million? And then, do you know what I mean? Then it's a bit more.
Yeah.
Well, you better say more than 60 million. That's terrible negotiating, because then they'll go down to 55.
As long as we do not accept.
Get me in the
right,
ball.
And this is worst case scenario. Anything less than 50 million for either of them, then and I agree.
Anything less than 60 million for either of them.
No, because I think Kalvin will go for less than 60. But if we get into
that's crime.
I know, but I think that's what will happen. But if we get into a situation where we're like 45 million, that'll be me. I'll be like, I'm sorry, as much as I love you, Victor, that's a joke, mate. We can't be letting him go for less than 50 million, either of them, for sure.
Somebody's just saying that Leipzig won't sell Tyler to Leeds because of the court case, but I think the way that the Red Bull model works is that if there's a possibility to get that money in, they will do it, and they'll reinvest it in some young players and try and repeat the process.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the Red Bull brand, though. They own both clubs.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so they wouldn't have sold us from Salzburg, would they? So I don't know about that, but we'll see. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you subscribe to JT's channel. JT, have you got a video dropping in the morning, mate? Yeah,
I do. South Stand signings tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Be there or be square.
Okay, you're going to give us any clue as to who?
Oh, you're going to have to wait and find out, aren't you, baby? Yeah,
we will.
Good magician never reveals his tricks.
Exactly.
A lot of action, though. A lot of action. Oh, boy, it's popping off.
It is. It surely is. And Max, over on Leeds lately, what have we got in the offing?
Yes, I've just recorded a video just before we started this. Nice. So that will be getting edited and uploaded tomorrow evening. So you'll have all day to watch JT's and Joe's videos that are coming out. And then in the evening, you can watch mine with it.
In the evening, you get your dinner out, get your popcorn ready, put your feet up and slap a bit of Leeds lately on.
Exactly. I'm just looking at you guys now. Let's have a look.
Whoa.
We want to get
trying to check me out. Are you hitting on me or something?
Yeah, always, bro. Why is JT Live not come up, man? Let's subscribe. What's going on? Justin Timberlake. Yeah, of course.
No, yeah, he always does that. You have to do JT Live, no spaces. Yeah. If you do a space in the thing, I need to work on my branding here. We've
got 2.6 JT, 2.2 Max. We need to get these up to 5K.
You've overtaken me, JT.
You know what you need to do, though, Max? You need to get out them daily videos. That's what you got to do. I can't
have about 1 hour sleep like JT. Yeah. I can't do it.
It's got to be done. I'm going to be live at about 8:30 in the morning because at 9 a.m, of course, the Premier League fixtures are announced.
Oh, yeah.
I will be...
I might go... Oh, I'm not going to be up for that, am I?
I
might just not go to sleep.
See what I just did there? Try to jump on mine? I'm joking, of course. Yeah, I will be live at 8:30. Not about 8:30. Yeah, 8:30. Reacting to the Premier League fixtures, which will be announced at 9 a.m. I'll probably do something on the Kalvin news at some point. And then on Friday, the continuation of last week's brand new show with Mr. James Marshman from Team Talk will be profiling all the latest transfer news.
They're writing articles about your thing, by the way, with James Marshman.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's good. I mean, I might see KJT.
You're big fan, mate. Yeah.
No, this has happened
exactly.
before. Bro, it's quite funny. It's happened before, that sort of stuff. But I don't know how them websites work that do that.
No,
like,
half of them as well. It like lures me in. It's like journalist reveals who Leeds need to sign, and then it's just like, oh, Conor McGilligan was talking about this on his latest video. I was like, oh, I already seen this, man.
I know what you mean.
Oh,
though.
I'm getting some new information. I'm like, oh, I just watched this flipping half an hour ago, man.
We were discussing the Ben Foster thing last Friday, and then there was an article about that months ago because KG had mentioned it. Then I checked the article that I was reading that I'd seen on the site and was like, right, we'll talk about this. And it was still the one that KG was on about. I was like, wow, they're still running with this 6 months deep. Nah, fair play though. I love it, man. I've had it when someone sent it me for the first time. I was like, yo, I'm making it big here. It's class. But listen,
you're kidding the scene.
What as Turkish would say, I can't help myself. Love for the love people. Make sure you subscribe to these boys' channels. Make sure you check out Lewis's stuff as well. And of course, keep it locked to the Just Your Football Show. And we'll see you here next Wednesday as well. We will see you next Wednesday. Thank you as always for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening.